afternoon, it's Pamela from Yorkshire in the north of England. I haven't got much to show you again because as usual these days I haven't done a lot of crochet. But I've done one of the hats, which is the Signet Bow Spirit Men's Cluster Stitch hat, which is a free pattern from Signet. It's a nice pattern to work up, enjoyed it. I haven't used a full ball, I haven't weighed how much is left, but it's interesting to know how much I'll get out of a full ball of Aran, or I will get one out of a full ball of Aran. So this is the hat. It's worked up really quite big, but I think that's because, like I say, although Bow Spirit is an Aran yarn, it's not a very thick one. So I did reduce the number of rows by 2, but it is a man's hat, and I'm sure there'll be a man out there that it'll fit. So I did continue up. I was going to think about changing to a 5mm hook after the rim, because you know, that is what's recommended for this yarn, but as it was working up quite large, I've continued with the 4.5. It's a 4.5 for the Bow Spirits, but like I say, that is a thinner one. But anyway, it's still one hat completed, which is good. Now, the other thing, when I'm in a mood that I don't like something, one of the things I can do is add colour, because I like colour. So I thought that I'll do another hat, but I'll do it in a bright colour. So I got the Yarn Smiths, oh, by the way, that was the Yarn Smiths Create Aran, which was about budget yarn. It's less than £2 a ball. And then I got this as well, which is Yarn Smiths Create Full of Beans, which is multicoloured. And I do find joy in that. So I've started this one. It's a beanie, and it's it's going to be a lightweight one because it's a DK yarn, plus it's got lots of holes in it. So it may well be a hat that's more for spring or autumn, maybe. I love the pattern. I think it'd make a really lovely scarf if you worked that way rather than, you know, like that. You know, lengthways rather than side to side is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, I do like how that's working up. When I pick it up, I enjoy doing it. It's just getting myself to that stage. So the pattern I'm using for that, and I'm using a 4mm hook as well, as is required by DK yarn. So I'm using the pattern King Cole pattern, which was a Pate 4 pattern. It's a double knit one. They don't seem to put the name of the, they never seem to put the name of the pattern on it. But it is pattern 4764. It's the one I got with the waistcoat on, which I'm going to do in a multicoloured yarn. And it's got the pattern included, which has got a little shawl, a scarf and a beanie. So as you can see, it's quite a lightweight one with lots of holes, but someone will enjoy wearing it because, like, I'm a person who can't do with something really warm on the head, you know, so I do know there'll be people out there that like it. I do like that pattern, but like I say, it's a Pate 4 one. Now, I haven't done my square for this week, which I think is the first time ever. I didn't enjoy this one. It was actually working up okay. I did get the pattern going. I just didn't enjoy it, so I frogged it. So that was that one. Now, I have told Jenny that I'm not going to continue with it. I mean, personally, in my own time, I was planning to continue with it, but just do the squares I want to do. But me being me, I've woke up this morning with fresh intent, because I don't give up. I'm not really, I mean, don't get me wrong, there is stuff I've given up, but I generally speaking, I have to complete something if I start it. So unless it's really going badly, or, you know, I'm not enjoying it rather. So I'm contemplating giving myself a talking to over the weekend. What do you think? I think I should continue with it, even though it's not giving me bliss. I will get to a stage where I'll like it again, I know I will. You see, my problem is, I think, not in a malicious way at all, but I think this book is slightly deceptive. Because on the front, apart from the one we're doing now, as far as I can see, maybe that one, maybe the one that's the, imagine, no, that's still working around until you get to the edges. All these on the front, is from what I can see, are made in the round, and that's what I judged it by when I bought the book. And personally, traditionally, I think granny squares are done in the round, and I know times move on. That's why I'm saying I'm not saying this in an harsh way, because you know, a lot of people will accept this is the way forward with granny squares. I just don't think they're as nice, and I don't enjoy making them up, and also I don't think they go together very well when they're side to side. You know, I think you get a much better look with ones all done in the round. So like I say, I don't want to be mean about it, really I don't, because it's, you know, things do change, you know, but to me, this doesn't feel, you know, what it should be. But, you know, and I do think the front is slightly misleading, making you think the bulk of them are in the round, which they probably are, but we've had quite a run of side to side, which I think is the problem. That is the problem, you know. But anyway, give myself a talking to, see if I can talk myself round. Or do you think I should just give it up if I'm not content? Anyway, there you go. So that's that. Apologies, by the way, to anybody who I encourage to buy this book to, if you, like me, are not entirely happy with side to sides, you know. So this week I've been busy because I went for a pottery painting session on Wednesday with Pearl, and I did an hedgehog planter. Now, it's an experiment really to see if it comes out, because I like the face. I've done the face, really like the face, but I decided to do the spikes in a multicoloured, but I didn't think it was taking the paint very well, was the pottery this week. But an artist should not blame the equipment or her tools. So, you know, it's me that's done it. So if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But we'll see what it looks like when it comes out. It might just look like purple blotchy by the time I've done. But anyway, there's that. I'm doing another glass fusion on Sunday, but I can't remember what we're doing, and I only discussed it with Pearl this week. But we're doing that on Sunday, so I'm looking forward to that. I love the glass fusion. Now, I've also, this week, so I've been busy because, like, you know, I think my trouble at the moment is I want more than just crochet. I want to do lots of things. One of the things was when lockdown first happened, I love learning, you see, really do love learning, and I even like exams, you know. I've always been weird that way. But when lockdown started, I picked from Open University free courses. These are all low-level ones, they're not degrees by any means, but the low-level courses, short courses that you can do on many subjects, and it's so interesting. And but I'd taken up with crochet by then, and it got put to the side, and I've meant since then to constantly go back on and do you know, one of these courses. Anyway, this week I had that sort of mood come upon me, so I'm doing, you won't be surprised, the one I'm doing at first is about women's suffrage, and it's a 10 hours estimated length of course. I've done a bit each day. My trouble these days is I love learning still, but I don't retain it as easily as I used to do, because none of us do. When you get a bit older, you have like lapses in memory. So, well, I do anyway. And but I'm still enjoying the process. You know what I mean? It's not going to be needed for anything, so it doesn't matter if I forget most of what I read. It's just interesting to do it. So I'm doing that, and it is really interesting as well. One of the things that I have learned, I knew about the Cat and Mouse Act, but I've learnt more about the Cat and Mouse Act. And there's an interesting lady. She's either called, you see again, I've forgotten fully the name, but I read about her. She was Lillian Linton or Linton, and she became very good at evading the cat and mouse. What they did was, if you became ill, you know, because of like hunger strike, force feeding, whatever, they would let you out because they didn't really want anybody to die for this cause, you know, so they'd let them out, but as soon as they were fit they were supposed to go back to prison, and she became very good at going into hiding, so she's quite fascinating. And and seeing the images of these people as well, and also there's some things you listen to, so you can actually you know, hear the suffragist and suffragette voices, you know, which I think is very good. So yeah, I'm enjoying it, and I'm nearly through this one. I think yesterday I was either on 84 or 87%, and I've been doing, you know, between 1.5, 2 hours in an afternoon. The idea was, with it being 10 hours, I'd complete it by the end of today, which I think I should do, because like I say, I'm on 84 or 87%, and then that would be, you know, that's one down, you know. Nick was suggesting I might try to look to see if there's a course, because although I've saved a few, there's still probably loads more that I want to do. See if there's a course on the, you know, women of the SOE during the Second World War, you know, because that's another thing that interests me. And of course, there's just been a series on television about those ladies. So yeah, I'm going to look into that. So I've been doing that. Then I've had a couple of daft things this week, and not that you really need to know, but I had a flying glass of lemonade the other day. I don't know how I managed to knock it over, and knocked over a glass of lemonade, and it was my patterns that were on the go that suffered the most. That one was okay because it was out being used, but like these, they're all a bit wrinkly, you know, where they've been wet. And I don't like doing things like that. I like to keep things looking nice, you know, but anyway, such is. I also, my little Ukraine bear that I've been wearing since I bought it has had a little trip through the washing machine, so I thought I'll stop wearing it on my clothes, you know, my sort of inner clothes, as it were, because, you know, just in case it happens again. It survived this time and I wouldn't like to risk it again, so I've put that onto my jacket for going out in. So yeah, just a few things, knocking things over this week, being clumsy, you know, that's the sort of mood I'm in, really. Just a couple of things I'm going to mention. I was in Asda the other day. Even my little Asda in the village stocks crochet magazines and what have you, so I generally go and have a look, and I noticed there was a new, I don't know if it's, I think it will be a one-off actually. It's a crochet magazine. I can't remember how many patterns are in it, but there's quite a lot. It's almost like a book, but it's a magazine, and it's £9.99. Now I had a look at it. Now if anybody's interested in it, like I say, it is in Asda. I put an image of it. I sneakily took a picture of it. Now for me, the patterns are too simple, but I think for a beginner it might be a nice one to buy, you know, because it's got, you know, like lots of patterns, quite easy looking patterns, and it might get you into amigurumi if that's what you want to do. So I'll just put a picture of that up. Like I say, £9.99, but for a seasoned amigurumi maker, maybe not. But it's entirely up to you, all your own judgment, you know, if you want to. It may be available in other supermarkets, but I only go into a couple personally. The rest of it I've delivered, so I can't. It definitely wasn't in Co-op anyway. Now the other thing I've discovered, now this may be not a surprise to anybody else, but I didn't even know this was here. But on the Wool Warehouse site, there's something called the Craft Room. And it's got lots of articles. I saw it advertised because it was on about, you know, to frog or not to frog sort of thing. There were an article on it, so I went looking, and there's loads of stuff in there. There's when free patterns come available, they're highlighted. It's every craft, you know. There's your cross stitch, your knitting, your crochet everything. So I just thought, you know, if you didn't know about it, I'll put a link below, and it might have a useful something for some of you, you know. Obviously free to look at, you know, and obviously and do you know, and that's the place where you get to know of the new crochet alongs that's coming up, or whatever make along it is. And I've always wondered, how do you find out? How are you in the know straight away? Because I usually only know once it's advertised on the first page of the website, or if it's on Instagram. So I just thought maybe, you know, it might be useful to you, but it's come as a complete surprise that this section of the website is there. But like I say, I might be just naive and just not noticed it before, because that's quite possible too. So I think that's me done. I think I've got you up to date. Sorry, not much to show you, because like I say, I seem to be just you know, wanting to grow the range of things I'm doing at the moment. Or talking other day, it might have been to Pearl. Well, talking to somebody, I think it might be something to do with spring. You know, it's spring is making me want to regenerate. I don't know. Tell me what you think. Anyway, that's me for now. A very weird little video, I'm sure. Anyway, take care of yourselves, folks. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you as soon as I can.